Good morning, guys. Coach Chrispect here, and welcome to another edition of 15-Minute Income. We're going to talk today about another question I get frequently that people are wondering. It's more along the lines of people are already kind of started their Amazon business and they're launching their first product and they're kind of past the startup phase and they're tweaking and their product is kind of, so they're 4 to 6 weeks in. The question I always get is, well, I'm kind of doing good now. When should I launch my next product? How quickly should I launch my next product? I actually get that question even sometimes before people have even launched a product. So usually it depends. If I get that question before people have launched a product, then my answer is generally, well, let's launch your first product and then see how that goes, and then we'll launch your second product. And by see how that goes, I'm not talking about the performance of the product. I'm talking about the execution of finding a product that has good demand, low reviews, good net profit, good opportunity score, all that type of stuff. Because my feeling is this: if you can find a product that has all those things, it's performing high, it's got high demand, it's got low reviews, you can get the product for a really good price, you can private label it. If you check mark all those boxes, you're gonna make sales. It's not a matter of if, it's not a matter of when. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen right away. It's gonna happen once you get your product to Amazon. You're gonna make sales because you're gonna simply price it in certain pockets, and those pockets are gonna draw sales. And then you're gonna change your pricing strategies as you go along. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So my importance, some people wait to see if their products are performing well, and then they get too caught up with the performance of a good product that they forget to launch more products. And that's a big mistake that some people make, only if their goal was to do really well and make and increase their Amazon income. That being said, if people are fine with $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month off of one product, and they just want to ride out that product until that product dies and then launch another one, that strategy is just as good, because some people just need that extra income and maybe don't need the pressures of other products to launch. But obviously, for the question of the day, which is when should I launch my next product, you should launch your next product once you've filled out and checked all the boxes of what I just said, which is the product you're about to launch good demand or great demand? Does it have low reviews? Does it have a good opportunity score? I mean, as far as your quality of listing, can you get it for a good price? Have you bought enough quantity, enough stock? Stock is important. Make sure you have good stock of the first product you launch so that it's able to sustain enough time in the marketplace while you go out and launch your second product, or before you go out and launch your second product. Because the worst thing you want to do is you launch a product, but you didn't stock it with enough quantity, and then 2 weeks later you run out of stock. Meanwhile, you've spent your money on your second launch. Now, not that that's a bad thing. Launching your second product isn't a bad thing to do. It's not a bad thing to die out your first. But let's say your first does, let's say you only launch 250 units, and let's say you sell out in 2 weeks. So you're selling 150 units a week. Divide that by 7. You're selling more than 20 units a day. approximately 21 units a day. That's a really decent sale. That's, you know, at $10 profit a unit, that's $210 a day minus maybe some pay-per-click. You're making $150 a day. You're well over your target goals. But let's say you launch your second product and you don't have the capital to replenish your inventory for your first product because you spent it on your second launch. Now, again, not that that's a bad thing, but you're going to have to come up with capital for your first one and get that replenished because it's doing well. And you don't want to lose your ranking, your listing ranking because you have no inventory. Because once you run out of inventory, your listing starts to drop down, and then, you know, you're going backwards a little bit. So, get back to the question, when should I launch my second product? Launch your second product when your first product is launched and you know that it's a good product. Now, if you don't know that it's a good product and perhaps it's a riskier launch, maybe you went off the beaten path a little bit and you launched something that maybe was more personalized to you, maybe didn't have the demand that you set forth or you set your criteria as in the beginning, but maybe had low reviews and maybe you're kind of pre-knee, then I would recommend wait. Make sure that that product is performing. Maybe your goal was 10 sales a day. Once it hits 10 sales, then launch as long as you have enough inventory. Again, inventory is key. You want to make sure you have inventory for the products that you launch. But how I did it is like this. I launched a product, made sure that it had met all the criteria. Then I immediately launched my second product. Within 4 weeks, I had launched my second product to Amazon, made sure that I met all the criteria and demand. I didn't wait for sales. Product was already on its way, and I launched my third product. Again, I was trying to find product that met the demand, low reviews, had a great opportunity score, I could buy at a great price, fit a good net return on profit, that I had capital, and that my first two products were inventory was high. So my initial investment was high because I was launching successful products. I spent countless hours in the startup stage. What people don't realize is that I work a full-time job from 9 to 5. I then go home. I have a full-time family. I have 4 children, so time has to be spent there. I then work this. I treated it as a full-time job, and I would start at 8 p.m. My wife works nights, so as soon as she kind of went to work, I had time with my children and dinner. I would start at 8 p.m. and I would go from 8 p.m. till 3 a.m. and work for 7 hours. Product research, fixing my listings, tweaking phase, product research. And I would spend countless hours on product research in every angle I could think of. I would also spend countless hours learning the ins and outs of Seller Central, how to replenish, how to pull back inventory, how to send new inventory, how to create a listing, how to create multiple listings, how to create listings under listings, how to do promotions, how to do PPC. I would launch random products. People ask me, 4 months ago you started your Amazon. That's not true. I started my Amazon business in March. I didn't start in 4 months ago. Oh, but your video started 4 months ago, approximately 4 months ago. Yeah, I started retail arbitrage 4 months ago. And the reason I started retail arbitrage wasn't because I'm a retail arbitrage fan. I find it more to be just of a sport, kind of a pastime thing. Plus, I wanted to try another angle. The reason I started retail arbitrage was so that I could ship products and try out different techniques. I just wanted to learn more. I want to be more of the hands-on approach. Again, private label is a hands-off approach. Your product you never touch. I never ordered any samples for any of the products I've ever launched. I've always done my research, done my due diligence, spent a lot of time on Alibaba, researching, learning specifications, learning every in and out. I mean, I created a shitload of Excel documents that would help me manage suppliers, the different suppliers, because, you know, to give you an idea of all that time I spent from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not just working product research, I'm working Alibaba. I would send out, you know, to give you an example, I would work 10 different products I found. I would send out on average 15 to 20 different suppliers my template, asking them, you know, the basic questions of how much for 500 units, how much to private label, how much to add my UPC barcode to the product, how much express for express shipping via air, when can you ship it, how long is the turnaround time. Basic template. I would send that template for between 15 and 20 different factories for between 10 and 15 different products. So almost 150 emails. And then as Alibaba factories and salespeople, they respond fairly quick, I would then respond to hundreds of different emails. So I would spend a lot of time, and again, that's where I would spend all my time, because China is awake when we're sleeping. So I had to be awake during that time. So 8 till 3, chatting back and forth and working with these different factories and the people within these factories to help me understand the product and help me learn more. So while my competition is sleeping, I'm awake studying and being mentored by people in Asia and having conversations back and forth with them and learning that in the electronics industry there's so much specifications you need to understand. That in the sporting goods industry, there's so much specifications you need to understand. That in the home improvements industry, there's so much specifications you need to understand. So many options, so much catalog options. So it just helped me learn how to engage with factories in China without being in China. So I kind of, for myself, took that to a new level, and it helped me launch products really quickly. So again, my first product was out the door, on its way to Amazon. 5 weeks it took to get there. And meanwhile, I had already picked and paid for my second product. And I did ask my mentor when I should be launching, and he kind of gave his idea of, you know, he launched every 2 months. And I was kind of right around there, just approaching it. You know, like I said, 5 weeks in, so I'm like, so let's launch. I didn't wait to see what my sales would be like, even though I had some negative feelings of, oh man, looks like this for my very first product, it looked like it was getting ultra competitive, and I was nervous. I'm like, how am I going to gain? Didn't have the experience. How am I going to get into page one? It looks like it's out of reach now. Wasn't the case. Was not the case. Because I learned how to price my product to sell, and then price my product in a pocket. So, you know, again, back to the question of how often should I be launching products? Again, it depends on your goal. But don't let it depend on your sales of your first product, because one, your product will perform, you will sell your inventory, but two, you need to establish a foundation. And I believe if you only have one product, you don't have a foundation, you're standing on one leg. You need to stand on at least 2 feet. I really believe firmly, like a strong building, you need 4 pillars. So you definitely need at least 4 products. And put it this way, if you have 4 super successful products in Amazon, and they're all producing $5,000 profit a month, you're making $20,000 profit a month. That's walk-away income from your job. You can leave. It takes time. It's going to take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months to get to that point where you see your first $20,000 check. We understand that. But if you never launch those second and third products, then how will you ever get there? Now, I completely understand if financially you're not in that position to launch additional products. So that is a position you have to be in. But the timeline is simply this, is that don't wait for your product to perform. Do the work up front so that you know your product will perform. Then just go and find another product. Do that same work. Great demand, low reviews, good opportunity score, good buy, good pricing on the product, cheap shipping and handling. You're qualified to launch it. And then buy the product and launch it. If your finances only allow you to meet a certain quantity, just meet that certain quantity. Launch the product. Make sure you can private label it. Okay? Then go and find another product. My whole channel is called 15-Minute Income on YouTube, and the reason I call it 15-Minute Income is because I've gotten to the point where I can find a qualified product in 15 minutes. And if I can't, I've certainly sifted through enough products. Even if it's just a base hit, and a base hit to me is that it'll do 10 units a day. A home run is that it's gonna produce $5,000 income. Like a base hit, 10 units a day, 300, so 3,000. And maybe under $3,000 profit a month. Maybe it's 1,500. A home run is 3,000 to 5,000. A grand slam is 5,000 plus on that one product. I've never launched a grand slam yet. Or no, I have a grand slam. It took a little bit of time to get there, but it is actually a grand slam. In fact, my son, who started his Amazon business, just informed me that my product, you made it when your product shows up on a criteria search on Jungle Scout. And one of my products shows up on a criteria search on Jungle Scout. Actually, a high criteria search on Jungle Scout. So, people ask me, well, the proof is in the pudding. Share your listings, share your numbers. I'm not sharing my numbers. I have no interest in sharing my numbers with anybody. I couldn't give a crap if you launch your Amazon business or not. Yes, my goal is to help 1,000 people launch their own Amazon business and replace their income, their current income, with an Amazon business income. And I have ways I'm going to achieve that goal, but my goal is not to convince you or show you how well I'm doing, but it's to convince you to try. Amazon isn't buying massive companies because they're gonna fold tomorrow. They're buying massive companies like Whole Foods because they're winning. They're winning. It's the gold rush of this century. And you have to understand that. So again, it doesn't matter how well I perform or if you believe me or not. What you just need to believe is in yourself. You need to talk to as many people as you can about Amazon, fulfillment by Amazon. Call Amazon direct. They'll love. Go on to Amazon seller board. Join Amazon groups. Mine is called Amazon Jungle Scout Product Research. Join it. Talk to people within the community. Ask questions. There are a whack load of groups out there that you can join, filled with people who have started their own business at all different levels. So, again, this is just an advice thing. People always have a question, and their question is, when should I launch more products? And the answer is, as fast as you can launch your products, if that's your goal. Launch one, make sure you've checked all the boxes of success, get that going, get that arriving on Amazon, move on to your next one, and start fresh as if you've never launched anything, and get the second one launched. Then check all the boxes, get it there, move on to the third pillar, try to get 4 launches as fast as you can. There was a saying in an old business I was in, and it was a business design, I think it was a Amway business. tried it. I wasn't great at it, but their whole concept of you know, a product is like, with Amway, is like having a person under you, or starting a business owner. You know, what do they call it? A something business owner. Anyway, I can't remember. But they have a business. So you start businesses. You start people with their own businesses. And actually, it was an e-commerce version of Amway that I started. But it meant a lot of people skills. I was exhausted in that industry. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But they had a saying: 3 you're free, 6 you're rich. So if you can get 3 businesses started under you, people who are running their own e-commerce stores, you'll make a commission off them, but you're helping them make 50 grand a year, which is simply one product with Amazon. One good launch that's making $3,000 to $5,000 a month could net you $50,000 a year. So 3 are free, meaning if you can launch 3 products on Amazon, you can walk away from your job. 3 solid products on Amazon making you anywhere from 30 to 50,000. Let's say they're all making 30. That's a $90,000 income. You can walk away. 3 you're free. You can be free. Once you get them all into the maintenance phase, you're working an hour a week, maybe 2, maybe 5. You're never going to surpass a full-time job when you have 3 products launched that are you're in the maintenance phase and they're all earning income. You're never trading time for dollars anymore, or dollars for time. Now you're trading dollars for more dollars. You're freeing up your time. So 3 launches and you're free. 6 launches and you're rich. 3 you're free, 6 you're rich. So my mindset is it's the same. So my whole thing is, if you can find the money, get them launched, but just make sure the criteria boxes are checked. There's demand, low reviews, good price, good opportunity score. You can improve on the listing. You can become the best. The listing is what opportunity score means. On Jungle Scout opportunity score, they rank it in the 100 being a great listing, 10 being a terrible listing. Most fall at around 50, which means they're like a 3-star listing. You just need to be a 4-star listing to be the best. You know, rating wise, you just need people to give you great ratings to be the best. And that's just your quality of your listing, the quality of the information you're giving your customer, the quality of the owner's manual. If you get, like, there's so much involved, but you're always improving every day. You can always improve that every day. So yeah, 3 are free. Get those 3 launched, get those 4 launched, get them there as fast as you can. I did mine, my first 3 to Amazon, all up and running in the first 8 weeks. My fourth came at my 4-month in, and that's where I'm at. And I've actually sitting on a 5th right now. And my only concern with the 5th, and I tell people don't launch patented products, is I believe it's pending patent. So I'm consulting a lawyer right now to figure out what exactly pending patent means to me. And we'll move on from there. If it works, great. If not, it's no big deal. And I'm still working a full-time job. I'm still coaching 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day. I don't spend 8 p.m. till 3 a.m. on Jungle Scout product researching and on Alibaba doing sourcing and resourcing. So I mean, my time is really like I'm honestly, for 4 products, my maintenance is I'll answer customer service questions on a day-to-day basis from emails, because I use Kibly, and Kibly emails my clients, and then my clients email me back, or my customers email me back. And then with that, I'll maybe have 5 emails a day, or 5 questions or on Amazon a day, on my Amazon app a day, that I got to get back to. Sometimes I'll have to send out certain certain warranty stuff. But like I said, I don't do anything other than check my sales. So it's a phenomenal gold rush, guys. Definitely something that you'll want to think about. Attack it where you're at. If you can only launch one product, you can only launch one product. Save your money, start a separate bank account. Make sure your money's going into a separate bank account. Make sure you start an LLC. Turn it into a business, corporation. Use your money, your earnings, to reinvest and launch more products. Try to get to 3. Do your best to get to 4. But ultimately, once you get to 6, my whole belief is you're rich. If you have 6 listings making you $5,000 a listing, let's say you have 6 listings making you $3,000 a listing. That's $18,000 a month. At $5,000, that's $30,000 a month. Is that right? 5 times 6 is $30,000 a month. Even if you had one and it was making you $3,000, I'm sure you'd be happy with an extra $3,000. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to the question of the day with Coach Chrispect. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. Hit me up on Coach Chrispect on Instagram. I think that's my new channel on Instagram, at Coach Chrispect. And Facebook, Coach Chrispect. Or check out our Facebook page, Amazon Jungle Scout Product Research. Or our Facebook community, Amazon Jungle Scout Product Research. It's all on there. I'll leave the links in the description below. Join in and ask me any question. I promise you I'll get back to you. Peace.